Welcome back. I hope you're having a great day. I want to talk to you today about gem mint, near mint, perfect 10, whatever you want to call it, and the kind of ridiculousness that's going on with online vendors. I'm not calling anybody out specifically, but just wanted to go over two different cards that I've received from different online vendors and the reaction that I got and talk a bit about it. So here we have Iona, Shield of Amaria. And I just want to, take you through a little stroll here on what this card is. So I've got my nice new macro lens. This is the first thing I'm filming with it, so we'll see how it turns out. But I want you to look at the card here and, there's a few little white spots here or there, but this card is in really good condition. This is a really nice card. The black is black, and everything about this, there's no scratches or scuffs anywhere from handling. The card is a beauty. And this is one of the cards that I absolutely cherish. It's just, again, it's a beautiful card. Yeah, a lot of people don't like facing Iona, but it's what she is. And I want to take you to another card here, Syndic Trafficker. So let's just take a look at the card. I know you're probably already looking at the borders, but if you weren't and you didn't really notice it, that's fine too. It's something that I notice, but let's just go into more detail here. Look at this, and it's interesting, right? You look at the top here, right over Trafficker, and you look at this. It's black. This here is black. This, because of all the scuffs and marks or whatever, it gives it a almost gray. It looks like they're two different tones, right? Well, here's the thing. So I bought this near mint, and I bought this near mint. And this isn't the only card that I have here that's like this. It's just the card I'm deciding to use. There's some that are actually far worse, but the case can easily be made that those cards are not near mint or even slightly played. This one here I think falls into the slightly played category because, hey, this is not how you get the card out of a pack. And when I buy a card near mint, especially a foil like this card, I'm expecting, and the expectation, at least from me and by extension a lot of other people, is that this is a card that went from the pack and is now into your hands. Maybe in some scenarios you can play with the card a few times. I mean, this card sees play in almost all my white decks. Yeah, I know. Kind of a cheap move, but it's one of the cards I like playing. We do have that aspect in our play group. But this is a card that's been played many times, and hey, it still looks great. This looks like it just came out the pack. This card, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what its story is. I don't know what life it's lived before getting into my binder, but this card has seen some play. Whether it was sleeved or not, I don't know. It could also be in a situation where when vendors get a lot of a new set, you see, if you've gone into any of the huge online retailers that actually have a brick and mortar shop as well, they have stacks and stacks of cards just laying around from when they start doing the unboxing, and they start just throwing cards. They throw them into a pile, and they get stacked. So all the syndicate, wow, was that really hard? Syndicate traffickers are all in one pile. And they do that for the sorting purposes so that whenever there's an order that comes in, they can easily pull out the cards necessary. So what happens is that the cards that are open in the earlier packs, they get scuffed a lot because they have a lot of other friction that's going on top of them. But the reality is that this isn't a near mint card, right? There's a distinct difference between this card and this card. And I've talked to vendors. This is kind of the card that I use. And there's a few other really nice cards that I've gotten that I use as examples, but this is usually the one that finds its way into my email folder when I'm sending somebody examples of what I'm expecting in return. And while that might seem difficult, I'll touch on that in just a second, but the counterpoint is made that, oh, if I wanted a gem mint, I should have specified. I'm sorry, this isn't a gem mint card. This is a card that was in a pack and then shipped to me. Now, that's not to be said that, there are gem cards that go into packs and they manage the whole length of a trip and to get graded and all that. But that's completely a different story. If you're going to qualify something as gem mint, the only time that you should be doing that is if you have a graded card. in my opinion, unless you're actually spending the money to grade cards, cards are either near mint at best. And that's usually the way grading companies view these cards as well. I know, at least I speak from grading comic books. I've gotten a lot of my comic books graded that I have that are of some value, just because, hey, I'm not the official spokesperson on grading. I need somebody that is, so they can say, hey, this is what your comic book, or in this case your card, is valued at. You pay the fee to get it graded like a perfect 10 or a 9, 9.9, whatever. As soon as you start dealing with cards like this that are simply like loose, there's no official grade attached to them, near mint at best, and then it goes down the scale. This here is a slightly played card. There's some wear on it. And it bothers me that vendors always try to pass this off as near mint, because you know that if you're selling to a vendor, they're going to grade this as slightly played and then flip it as near mint. I don't think that's good business. I don't think ethically it's something that these companies should employ. And unfortunately, there are a lot of online vendors that do this. So it's one of the risks of buying online, right? But there are certainly vendors out there who treat their cards and their clients with the respect, or even won't go so far as saying respect, but just the courtesy of properly grading and shipping out their cards. Now, again, another argument can be made that the people that are actually packing the cards and sending them off aren't, the top tier employees. There are people who are just there for that, to stuff cards in an envelope and send them on their way. And while I completely understand that, there still needs to be a certain standard that we hold these online vendors to. So where is the standard? Well, standard is that I try to return these cards as much as possible, and I definitely praise vendors like this one. This one here, I believe, was sent to me by Pack Fresh on TCG Player, and if this card wasn't sent by him, I do know that when I do shop from this vendor specifically, I get great quality stuff from him. It's rarely an issue. There have been, sometimes where a card will slip by, but he's definitely apologetic, and he likes to, make things right. Now, this isn't a plug or anything for this particular vendor. I'm just throwing out there that this is the kind of cards that I've gotten from, where, sometimes when I order from like a Channel Fireball or a Star City Games, or even some other smaller ones. I'm not going to pick on any of the smaller people, but a company like Channel Fireball or Star City, Card Kingdom as well, like, these kind of things need to be better. Especially with the way that they grade cards coming in. They are severe on their grading, so it'd be great to see some more consistency. Let me know what you think about the whole grading process. Is this Syndicate Tracker a near mint for you, or am I being too harsh? Let me know. I would love to hear it. That's it for me. Until next time, good gaming.